Hello everybody and welcome back to another Trove video. Today I'm going to be talking through the new gem system in Trove. As you all know, Trove's gem system is a massive part of the gameplay, and it is the main place where you're going to get your power rank from. I have 14.3 thousand of my 19k power rank comes from gems, and as you can tell, they are stupidly important. So with the new Eclipse update, as some of you may know, gem system has been redesigned to be really easy, well not easy, but less RNG based, so you're able to grind it now rather than having to rely on luck to get all the best gems in the game. So they've added this two new tabs, or rather things, into the old tabs in the adventure crafting recipes, adventure crafting table. There's the gem and gear improvement, so there's this new table called the Gem Forge, which costs these resources, which you're going to use to upgrade your gems: 13 Finium, 100 of every dust, and 30 tentacles. This is quite brutal for new players, but for me it's easy because, you know, 1,900 tentacles, you know. And anyway, and they also added new things into the gems tab, including a new tome, the Book of Bound Brilliance, which I would recommend you buy as soon as possible, which gives you 5 Bound Brilliance every week, which is required to upgrade your gems further. There are also 3 new augment items and 1 new reroll item added into the gems tab. The 3 augment items all do the same thing, but to varying amounts. There's the Builder's Rough Focus, which, as mentioned before, requires Bound Brilliance. It also requires 4 Hearts of Darkness and 2,000 Flux. There's the Precise Focus, 3,000 of every dust, 4,000 Flux, and Bound Brilliance. This is the one I'd recommend farming. It's the best. It's the easiest to get, and it's the most efficient. Well, it's not the most efficient, but it's the most efficient for your money, as you'll see in a second. And then there's the Superior Focus, which costs 1 Bound Brilliance, 30 Dragonite, 3 Titan Souls, so this is time locked, and 150,000 Flux, which is insane for the amount of what it actually does, when you can do the same thing with these, which you can farm with the dust. The last thing is called the Contained Chaos Spark, which is a reroll item, which allows you to reroll stats on your gems if you don't like the stats. This again is time gated with 3 Lunar Souls, 4 Binding Darknesses as a new material, which you gather from gem booster boxes, empowered gem boxes, and rarely from world bosses, as well as new events that are going to be happening in the future, such as Snowfest and Turkeytopia. The devs have said that these Binding Darknesses, as well as the Bound Brilliance, will also be able to be obtained from those events, as well as costing 2,100 eyes, which again is easy for me because I have my 60,000 eyes from my chest opening. So if we jump into the new Gem Forge table, which, may I add, looks kind of beautiful, has the 3 empowered gems on it: air, water, and fire. And if we jump into it, it gives you this sort of similar menu to your gems tab, except rather than having your boosters down the bottom, you actually have your stat augments and a reroll, which is the Chaos Spark. Now, what you have to do is right click on a gem to select it, and it will bring up the 3 stats in a rather confusing menu with a lot of numbers. This will put off a lot of players, but don't get it put off. It is stupidly useful and will allow you to get 26,000 power rank, which is the new max. Now, as you can see here, you've got the stat itself, which in my case is 7.7% critical hit, which is the stat that shows up when you hover over the gem. You've got the name of the stat itself, the percentage of completion, so when this hits 100%, that means the stat was as highest as it can be, 6.4%, which is the amount the stat started at, the base stat before you started to level up, and 9%, which is what it will be when it hits 100%. And then that's the same for all of the stats. So these augments here, what they will do is they will increase the percentage of the of the stat completion, which means that you'll get more power rank out of them, more damage, more stats, and also more consistency along your gems. As I said before, the different levels of augment will augment your gems to different percentages, This one being, I think, 1 to 5%, this one being 2 to 6%, and this one being as high as 12%. But I'm not sure on those numbers, they're not 100% confirmed, but that's just what I've got from my testing. And the last item is the reroll stat, which when you click on a stat and you press reroll, it will automatically remove that stat and change it to one other random stat. Now this is really expensive and can only be done once per week, so I wouldn't recommend changing the stat off until you have 2 or 3 of these Chaos Sparks, so you're guaranteed to get the stat you want. Now the stat health regeneration, which I have on this gem here, has now been removed from the game, so if you re-roll this stat off of your gems, it will never come back, which is brilliant because health regen's a terrible stat. But yeah, so yeah, once you have all of your gems up to level 25 and up to 100% completion, you will have the max power rank available in the game, which is 26,000. And also, if you use the 3 trinity of stats that I say in every single one of my class tutorials, for my character Shadowhunter, it's physical damage, critical hit and critical damage. If you have those stats on every single gem, as well as having them all to 100% and level 25, you'll be the best that your character can possibly be, which is amazing because it means that in the weekly contests for power rank, you have a chance of getting to number 1 in the world. It's no longer just reliant on RNG. It is now also available for grinding, which I think is really good because it means everyone has access to the Shadow Pinatas and Dark Chaos Vaults, and it'll make it a lot easier for players to get the power rank and damage they need to tackle the new and improved and higher difficulty Shadow Towers. So yeah guys, if this video did help you, then please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. If you check out my last video, card will be in the top right, and there is actually a streamer's dream giveaway. So if you want to enter that, then check out that video, and I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.